Richard, we are live, YouTube live. Please give introduction, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to today's industry interaction session, and it is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker, Mr. Mathew Joseph. Mr. Joseph is the director and head of CIMB Bank AI Labs, leading subsidiary of CIMB Group, the fifth largest banking group in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations region. With operations in 14 countries and a remarkable market capitalization of 14 billion US dollars, CIMB is renowned for its wide range of banking services, including consumer banking, commercial banking, wholesale banking, transaction banking, Islamic banking, and asset management. As the leader of CIMB's AI Labs, Mr. Joseph spearheads the design and development of innovative AI solutions. His visionary approach aligns with the bank's business strategy, driving smart decision-making and delivering personalized products and services to CIMB's diverse customer base across Asia. Additionally, he serves as a member of the board of directors at CIMB AI Labs, contributing his expertise to shape the future of the organization. Beyond his role at CIMB, Mr. Joseph is an official mentor of Kerala's Startup Mission, a prominent business incubator in India supported by the government of Kerala. He is recognized as a keynote speaker in international conferences and universities, sharing his insights on AI. His expertise has been sought after by prestigious institutions such as IIMs and IITs and various leading international universities and industry bodies. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Mathew Joseph, our esteemed speaker. We look forward gaining valuable insight from his wealth of experience and expertise. Without further ado, I will request everyone to direct your attention to our distinguished guest. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. So it's really great to speak to all of you, and thank you for inviting me to speak to you for the next 1 hour or so. So I understand that all of you are part of the IIT Madras data science program. So you are learning the data science, right? So I'm not going to teach you anything from the data science technology. As a technology, you are doing it in the best institution in India, and you will learn all the technology, data science and machine learning, deep learning, everything you are going to learn during the part of your course. So I'm going to talk about what are you going to do with this learning, right? So you learn about data science, you learn about machine learning, you learn all these technologies during the as part of your course, right? So what is that application of that technology in the industry? So you finish your degree and you go out to the market. What can you do with that? So you are empowered with a powerful technology. So during this session, if anytime if the audio is not working, you are not able to hear me, or if the slides are not moving, please one of you can unmute and call out. Otherwise, I would expect all of you to be on mute during the session, and after the session we will have around 30 minutes for the question answer. So you can keep all the questions ready towards the end of the session, so we will address that. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are going to talk about the application of this artificial intelligence in the industry, right? So when we talk about artificial intelligence, so there are a lot of things happening. There is a lot of media hype going around in terms of artificial intelligence. The recent one is the ChatGPT, and then we have metaverse. Then there are driverless car, robots, and which are driven by artificial intelligence. So all these kind of applications and the newsmakers are there in the media, and that is globally generating a lot of interest for the artificial intelligence or for the data science as a technology, right? So but when we talk about industrial applications, so many of these can be applied for the industry, right? And many of these technologies, for example, the ChatGPT, there are many companies who are started using it. There are a wide range of applications for that. And all these technology you take and bring it to the industry, how are you going to apply that? So that's the point of discussion today, right? So when we talk about industrial application and so I'm going to talk about the transforming this business, right? So as an artificial intelligence or as a data science, you learn about a lot of use cases. You learn about a lot of data science applications. You learn about a lot of data science solutions, machine learning solutions in the industry. So for example, the chatbot, you take, if you log into any of the online retail stores, right? Or you purchase something, or you log into any banking website, you will see that a lot of, everywhere the chatbots are there, right? You can chat with the chatbot and it will give you some answers, which makes sense. And sometimes it may not make sense as well. And then similar, there are risk prediction models are there. Then in the industry, manufacturing industry or heavy industry, there are predictive asset management solutions which predict the machines when it is going to break down. So those kind of different data science solutions are popular in the market, right? So that's a bits and pieces. But on top of that, so if you take a step backwards and look at the industry as a whole, how can you transform? So I'm going to talk about taking your whole data science as a technology to the industry and transform a multinational industry, multinational company, a multinational business operation end to end. How can you transform that, right? So that's a holistic approach of business transformation. And to take a step further, you are going to reinvent the business. The business is already invented. There is a certain way a bank is functioning. There is a certain way a manufacturing operation is functioning, or there is a certain way a retail operation is functioning. But with the data science, you can reinvent the operation. You can reinvent each processes. You can reinvent the way the business is operating. That's the power of data science. That's the power of artificial intelligence, right? So we are going to talk about that. So when I say reinventing the business, what is there in the business, right? So what you are seeing on the screen is the common business functional areas in a business. A traditional business, you take a traditional manufacturing shop floor, right? This is something which is very common. So you will have all the core operation will be there at the center, right? The operations are there. Then there is a human HR function, accounting, finance, marketing, sales, right? This is a typical function. And then you take this artificial intelligence as a technology, and how are you going to transform it? How are you going to reinvent the business using that? So that's the approach which we need to take up, right? That's the approach we are going to talk about. So when we talk about that, we talk about data-driven business. You drive your business using data. How can you do that? We are going to talk about that. Then the decision management, right? In a management, say if you are a manager in a company, you may be a middle-level manager or a first-level manager, or you may be a department head, or you may be a CXO of a multinational company. Every day you are going to make certain decisions. It can be a small decision, it can be a big decision, it can be a strategy decision, right? You're going to make a lot of decisions which is going to influence or impact the future of that business in a small way or in a big way. So how do you take that decision? So using data science, you can build predictive models and you can take and you can manage your decisions using data science. We are going to talk about that. Then there is strategy management, customer sentiment analytics. So the business strategy, right? How will you take a business strategy? Then you have the operations, right? The business operations are there. You have different departments under the operations. How will you optimize that? And when you are going to the sales, right? You have the market trend analysis, sales trend predictions, right? Sales is marketing is a huge area, right? And unless you have that edge there, you have that additional, the technology support, you will not be able to make your selling there. You will not be able to establish your brand in the market. So you can use data science there. Then we talk about recruitment, you talk about employee performance, attrition management, campaign management, all those, we talk about that. So in all together, we are going to talk about how you can take your technology, the data science, what you are learning in your classroom, how you can use it for transforming the business, right? So that's the talk for today, right? So when we talk about data science application, right? So there are artificial intelligence in the application. So there are two approaches. If you go to any of the big IT companies, everyone is having a data science lab. Everyone is building solutions, right? You talk to the Infosys, Wipros, and IBM's, Accenture. There are so many in the market, right? In Bangalore, we have so many. And in Chennai also, there are so many IT companies who are into building data science solutions. Some of them are building machine learning solutions. Some of them are into NLP solution. Some of them are building neural networks or complex solutions. But if you look at many of them, most of them, they are all building certain data science solution for solving a particular piece of problem. If you look at come into the banking, there is a fraud analytics, right? So the banking fraud, the customers, how are they going to detect the fraud? So there is a fraud analytics solution. Then there are chatbots, right, which you will see in every retail online stores and online banking. Everywhere you have the chatbots. Then there is predictive asset maintenance solutions. You go into manufacturing or heavy industries, all there are predictive asset maintenance solutions. Then there is risk analytics in the banking or insurance, everywhere is there. Then propensity models, especially for the campaigns, for the sales, who is likely to buy what, the customers who is likely to buy what. So those kind of solutions. So what these companies will do, so if you are joining any of these companies, TCS or Infosys or Wipro and all those IBMs, all those companies, you will develop certain data science solution, certain machine learning solution, and go to the market, and then you are going to solve that particular piece of problem for that industry, right? That's a bottom-up approach. But I'm going to talk about how you can bring your entire data of your entire business data together into a data lake and solve it end to end. How do you transform the entire business? So when others are talking about nuts and bolts, I'm going to talk about a car in totality, right? It includes everything. It includes all parts of the car, right? From engine to the accessories to the tire and everything, right? Transforming the entire business. So that's a top-down approach. That is a different perspective. So you need to be aware that it is not just solving small business problems. It is not just about nuts and bolts, but it is about the car as a whole. Right? The car as a totality. In totality, you can take your entire data, you can take and you can transform the entire business end to end using data science. That is the future. That is how you are going to re-engineer or you are going to reinvent the business and grow your business exponentially. So that's a business perspective versus technology perspective, right? So you need to, so in this such scenario, you need to understand the business. You need to understand the customers. You need to understand what are the business problems there, right? Then you go and solve the problem. So that is a different perspective which you need to develop. So during your BS program in IIT Madras, you will acquire all this technology. You will acquire the expertise in the technology. But when you go to the market, you need to acquire the domain expertise as well. You need to understand the business, how the business is operating. You need to get into the details of the business. You need to holistically look at the whole business and understand how it is working. And you should be able to detect the business problems and intuitively come up with business solutions, which is going to transform the business. That's a different skill altogether, which you need to acquire. That is when you become a data scientist, right? So when we talk about data science in the industry, you have the data collection, right? So you have the entire data which in the industry, which may be, say, for example, if it is a banking or if it is a retail business, you have the entire banking data in a core banking system, or you will have n number of digital solutions which are running your business. You need to bring all those data into a data lake. That's what we have done, right? So we have the entire data in our bank, which is brought to a data lake, and then there we look at the business problems and look at the different department, look at the different business operations, look at the different functional areas, and then identify the business problems and solve it using different machine learning problems, different deep learning problems, develop different artificial intelligence solutions. It can be NLP, it can be computer vision, all that, right? So you understand the business problem and then you solve it. Okay. So if I give you an analogy, all of you are familiar with the medical representatives, right? The pharmacist who is selling a medicine in the market, right? So my question is, why a doctor, especially specialized doctor, a doctor who is having a master's degree, an MD or an FRCS, why is a doctor getting paid more, and a doctor who is getting more respect than a pharmacist, right? If you look at the pharmacist or a medical representative who is selling the medicine, probably he knows more about the medicine. He knows more medicine than probably a pediatrician or a physician, because the pharmacist is dealing with all streams of medicine. A pediatrician may be knowing the medicines only from his stream of pediatrics. But why a pediatrician is respected and paid more than a pharmacist? The answer is very simple, right? The pharmacist understands the business. He knows the pharmacist understands the medicine. The pharmacist knows the medicine, whereas the doctor understands the patient. The doctor understands the patient. The doctor is able to look at the patient. The doctor is able to listen to the patient. The doctor is able to diagnose the problem. The doctor is able to do the testing and diagnose the problem, diagnose the disease, and prescribe the right medicine to the patient, the right medicine at the right dose at the right time. And he is able to solve the problem which the patient is facing. That is the difference. And that makes the difference. So you as a data scientist, you know about all the technology. You take the machine learning, you will know about the linear regression, logistic regression, the random forest, and all the algorithms. You take the deep learning, or you take the neural networks or NLP, you will know the in and out of all the technology. But that will only make you a pharmacist. That will only make you a medical representative who is going to sell medicines. So once you become that level, you need to go to the next step where you graduate yourself from being a pharmacist to a physician, a doctor who is able to understand the patient, who is able to diagnose the patient's disease and give the right solution. So that is the next level for you to grow. You as a data scientist, student, you will acquire the first part of technological expertise in IIT Madras, right? Probably you are in the best institution where you can learn the in and out of the technology. That will only take you till the pharmacist level, till you become a medical representative where you can go out and sell the medicines to anyone and everyone. But that will not give you the respect. The respect will come when you are able to go to the industry, understand the business domain, understand the complexities of the business operations, understand that you are able to detect or diagnose the business problems your business or your client or the business is making, and then take the right medicine from your pocket and solve it using that medicine. So you go out to the business, you understand the business problem, understand what are the pain points the business is facing, and then take the right model. Maybe it's a machine learning random forest model or a neural network or a computer vision technology. So whichever you have in your kitty, take the right technology and solve it and reinvent it and transform that, solve that business problem and generate more revenue. Give him tangible business result. I repeat, you should be in a position to solve the business problem and give tangible business result. You cannot say that, okay, I developed 4 machine learning models, which is very complex, which is going to predict so much things and which is going to consume 10 TBs of data, and it is going to give you so much of complex thing. Nobody cares. Who cares how complex it is? So the question will be, you take this model, you take this machine learning model and go to the business, and can you tell that I'm going to solve your business problem and I'm going to generate $20 million for you in the next 1 year, additional 20 million. Can you tell that? Can you say that I'm going to help you acquire 1 million more customers in the next 1 year? Can you say that I'm going to reduce your cost of operation by 20 million in the next 1 year? Can you do that? Then you get the respect. And that is what you are expected to do. So till then, whatever you learned, these are all tablets, these are all medicines, which is with you. Unless you know which medicine to take and where to apply and what is the problem with that patient, that business, and unless you know, you are able to detect that problem, and unless you have the skill to take the right medicine and prescribe the right medicine at the right dose to that patient and solve the problem and give him back to normalcy, you will be still treated like a pharmacist. So you need to grow. So after your BS in data science, that is a long journey. You need to acquire. That's not going to happen overnight. You may be joining a banking domain, or you may be joining a retail domain, or insurance domain, or manufacturing, or any of these domains. You need to understand you need to acquire that business knowledge. And that is when you become a techno-functional consultant, you will be respected in the industry. People will come to you and say that, no, I'm facing this problem. You will be able to go, and so you have that powerful tool of data science, powerful tool of machine learning, powerful tool of NLP with you. And then you acquire this additional knowledge of domain expertise, business knowledge, and go and solve the problem. That's how you are going to do that. So if I give you an example, right? So the last week I was in an important meeting in the office. So suddenly I got a call from an unknown number in my phone. So I was in a meeting with my boss, and some of my clients were there. So we were having some serious discussion. So suddenly I got a call on my mobile phone. I disconnected because it was from an unknown number, and I did not take it. After a minute, again I got the call from the same number. So I thought someone is trying to reach me. It's something important, something urgent. So I took the call, and somebody said, there was a person calling and said, "Sir, do you want personal loan?" Someone from the bank where I have a salary account is calling me from that call center asking me for personal loan. I'm sure that all of you are facing similar experience, right? You're all facing similar experience. So this is how the banks are doing, right? So the bank call center, they're calling people at the wrong time with the wrong message and troubling you. They are literally spamming their customers, right? So you open your email, I get at least 5 to 6 emails from the different banks or the retail stores with promotional offers, discount, or personal loan, home loan, all that. I get at least 8 to 10 text messages, SMS messages on my phone. Same, right? So these are all customers. They are calling and they are spamming. So this is where the banks are doing. So this is how the banks are doing their campaign management. They are calling, they are spamming their customers. This is an excellent example of how you should not be doing banking, how you should not be doing spamming, or how you should not be doing campaign management in the banking domain. So this is a typical problem which is we are facing in every country. Every country, the banks are operating the same way. They are all spamming their customers. So we have solved this problem using machine learning. So what we have done is, We brought in all the customer data into our data lake. And we built multiple machine learning models, multiple deep learning models, and came up with propensity models and say that, okay, who is likely to buy what? And which customer is likely to buy which product? And every customer, if he is having so-and-so product, which is the next one he is likely to buy? Which is the next best product which he is likely to buy? We came up with that personalized model. And then we started doing the campaigns. So the customers have a preference for every product. So somebody who has a savings account is likely to buy a home loan. Is he likely to buy an auto loan? Is he likely to buy some wealth products, or is he likely to buy some credit card? All these we are predicting using machine learning models. And then every customer has his own personalized preference, right? For the channel, the channel, right? The email is one channel, call is another channel, text message is another channel. For the banking, the website is another channel. So there are different channels. Those who are in the marketing, they will understand that. So there is a preference for channel, right? And then there are preference. Each customer has a preference for the time. What time? So I prefer to receive. I don't mind receiving a call in the evening. Some people will say, okay, you call me in the morning. Some people will say, okay, you call me during lunchtime. Some others prefer to receive a call during the weekends. So we came up with such predictive models for the next best product for every customer, preferred channel, and the preferred time. And then we overlay these multiple models for these customers, and then we came up with personalized service and products. Instead of spamming everyone with every product, we reach out to the customer with the right product at the right time. That's how we solved such a business problem, right? So that's how you solve the marketing or the campaign management using data science solution. So all banking products, credit card, home loan, auto loan, right? All these are solved using different machine learning models. And then when we talk about the conventional banking, what is a conventional bank, right? So if you talk about any bank, all these banks have their own, all these banks, whether it's a multinational bank or a domestic bank, all of them have similar products and services, right? So you take any bank, multinational bank or a domestic Indian bank, maybe 90 to 95% of their products and services are similar. Everybody has a savings account, current account, credit card, debit card, loans, home loans, mortgage loans, investments, fixed deposit, right? All these are similar for every bank. Only the difference may be this bank may be giving 4.5% interest, the other one may be giving 4.7% or 5% interest, right? That's the only difference. So, but how do you know? I remember many years back when I constructed a home in Bangalore. It took me nearly 3 months for me to get the home loan approved. So they ask for all the KYC document, right? Every bank asks for every document, your ID proof, your address proof, your photo, your signature, then your last bank statement, the legal document, all these. And then you have to go to the bank, meet the manager, and get it verified. It took me nearly 3 to 4 months to get the loan. We solved that problem. So what we have done is we have our banking digital mobile app where personalized product and recommendation is given to every customer on a real-time basis. So if you are a customer with my bank and you have the mobile app for my bank installed on your phone, every financial requirement, every financial need of you, we understand that. And then we give you the right solution at the right time. Okay. So I'll give you the example. So today I am in Bangalore and tomorrow I come to Chennai. So I carry my mobile with me, and based on my geolocation, since my geolocation is enabled on my mobile phone, the bank will get the information saying that Mathew has traveled from Bangalore to Chennai and he has landed in Chennai airport. And when I go outside, again, the data is captured by the bank. And during the lunchtime, I'll get a notification on my mobile phone saying that there is a Chinese restaurant 100 meters away from my current location, and I will get 20% discount for my lunch. So I get that push notification in my mobile phone. I can go to that restaurant, have the lunch, pay using my, it can be any digital transfer or my credit card or any transfer. I get 20% discount. So how does the bank does that? Because the bank already has my food habits, my purchase behavior, what kind of food I take when I am traveling, whether it's Chinese or South Indian or a Tamil food or Punjabi food or Italian or what kind, or vegetarian or non-vegetarian. All my food habits are known to. The data is captured by my bank, and he's giving me the right recommendation at the right time and giving me the best solution, 20% discount there. Instead of spamming me with all these, when I am hungry, when it is time for my lunch, I get the solution for my hunger. When I'm hungry, he's not calling me, the bank is not calling me asking for a personal loan. When I'm hungry or when I'm in the middle of a meeting, the bank is not calling me for home loan. So the bank understands me. That is the power of data science. The bank understands me where I am. I am traveling and I am not in Bangalore, I am in Chennai, and this is lunchtime, and I get the push notification. And after the lunch, I go out, I get the next notification for my shopping. And the bank already knows what kind of shopping I do, whether I buy clothes or I buy electronic items or mobiles or sports items, whatever it is. My purchase behavior is already known by the bank, and I get a push notification saying that there is an electronic mobile store 200 meters away from my current location. I get 10% discount there. Again, I get the best solution there. And in the evening, the bank already knows what kind of what is my purchase behavior in the evenings, whether I go out to a bar or I go out for a dinner or I go for a movie. Based on that, I get the notification saying that there is a Tamil movie in a mall, half kilometer from my current location. I can go and watch the Tamil movie because the bank already has the data that Mathew loves Tamil movie. Or for somebody else, it may be an English movie or a fiction or a Malayalam movie or a Hindi movie, whatever. So every customer, the bank is going to give you that solution. So these are all small ticket purchases. So from morning till evening, when I am traveling, my bank understands my financial requirements and giving me the right solution at the right time based on my preference and interest. Are you getting me? And other than that, so these are all small ticket purchases. So if for big purchases, say, for example, tomorrow I want to buy a car or I want to buy a home. This is not something which people do it on a daily basis, right? You buy a car maybe once in every 5 years or once in every 10 years. You buy a house maybe once or twice in your lifetime. Most of the people, right? Most of the customers, not more than that. So even for that, when you want to buy a property, you want to buy a house, the moment you start browsing through the property website, or the moment you start browsing through, you go to a property dealer, the bank gets the data, and basically already has all your financial data. How much is your income? How much is your monthly spending? And what are the current loans running? How much is your repayment capability? What are what type of job you have? How much is your job security, whether it's a government job or a private job, or what kind of job it is, and who are your families, and what is the spending pattern there? All this data the bank already has. And based on all this, the moment you want to buy a house, the bank will come up with multiple recommendations saying that, okay, and then the bank also knows that, okay, what is your budget? Can you buy a 3 crore property or a 50 lakhs property? Some people can buy a 5 crore property, or someone else, maybe it's a 40 lakh property, or someone else, it may be an 80 lakh property, or somebody else, it may be 2 crore property, right? So based on all your financial background, your data, which bank has, the bank will give you the right recommendation and say that, okay, this is the best property for you, and you And the moment you click, you get your loan approved because it's already pre-approved for you because you are a bank customer, because the bank already knows. And the bank will say that, okay, you buy this property, you get a 1% discount because you are a customer. So when I'm going to buy a property, the bank is giving me the right solution, the best offer, and the best discount, the right time. So consider this with my previous experience of buying constructing a house, and I have to go to the office, the bank where my salary account is there, and still I have to prove him that I am not a thief. Still I have to produce all my address proof, ID proof, which I already submitted to him many times, right? My signature, my photo, everything, and I have to prove, and it took me 3 to 4 months to get a loan. So from that traditional banking, using artificial intelligence, we have transformed the banking into a personalized, real-time finance partner for every customer. In the previous scenario, the bank doesn't understand me. Even if I had my salary account with this bank for the last 10 years, even if my salary is coming to this account every month, still when I want to buy a home loan, I have to go to the bank and meet the manager and submit all these documents and prove that my credit worthiness. I had to prove myself that I'm not a thief. I had to still prove with my ID proof, my address proof, my everything. It's a pain. And I'm sure that this is what you also face. You want to buy a credit card, even for a credit card, right? You have to submit all these documents again and again. How many times a bank is going to take all these documents? It's pathetic. And that's how all the banks are operating. Even if you have an account with a particular bank for the last 5 years or 10 years, you want to buy a two-wheeler loan, or you want to buy a car loan, or you want to buy a credit card, still they will ask you for all these documents which they already have in their files. They will ask you for your Aadhaar number. It is not changed. It doesn't change every day. Why are they asking every time? It will ask you for your ID proof. It doesn't change. But still all the banks are asking. That's a pathetic way of operating. And the banks, it's a pain, right? So every time I go to a bank branch, I learn how a banking should not be operating. And that's a learning for me. Every time I go to and deal with the banks in India, in Bangalore, and anywhere in India, and it's the same case everywhere. And it gives a good learning how a bank should not be operating. And I can take that as a problem statement and solve it using data science and solve my bank and transform the banking. So from a traditional conventional bank, which is operating like a Sarkar office, we have transformed that bank using data science into a real-time, personalized financial partner for every customer who understands the customer and gives the right solution through the right channel at the right time. That is business transformation. And that's the power of data science. So I'm talking about the power of the technology, how it can transform with an example of bank. Same is, you go to retail or manufacturing, everywhere, it can do that. That's the power of the technology which you are learning. So you should know how to take this technology and go and apply in the industry where you are placed. Right. So you will appreciate this when after your graduation, you go out, you go and join a company in any domain, then you will be able to appreciate this. So I'm talking about something which is futuristic for you. Okay. And then that is about transforming a business end to end. Then we will talk about how you can transform your financial, your strategy management. So your business strategy, how can you manage that? So there was a situation where around 4 years back, our company launched a bank into a new country where the banks, there are already, it's advanced, it's a developed country where there are banks, all the multinational banks are already operating. So we went to the bank, and then we have that, what we have done is we collected the data, we had the market data, and then using machine learning models, using the data science solutions, we predicted the business strategy there. Right? So we are 100% digital bank in that country, where we don't have any branches, we do not have any ATMs. We just have one office and we have 2.6 million customers acquired within 14 months. And have you heard of any bank who doesn't sell credit card? Every bank has it, right? Even the cooperative banks, even the smallest banks in India, everybody has a credit. They are all selling credit cards, either a MasterCard or a Visa card or anything, right? But when we went to this country, we found that the credit card, so our strategy was we don't sell credit card in that country even now. Because when we did the market analytics, we found that the credit card market is already saturated. So we are going to not going to make any business there. So we don't sell credit card in that country. So that's a business strategic decision which we took. And we are focusing on certain products and acquiring the customers. So within 14 months, we have grown from 0 to 2.6 million customers. And another area in the banking operation is ATM. How many times you go to an ATM machine, you insert your debit card, and then you key in all your options and your ATM PIN and all that, and then finally you get the message, there is no cash available. Very common, right? I'm sure that all of you face that issue in your life, right? So this is a typical business problem which we face. So we have solved it using neural networks. So we have developed many solutions which predicts how much ATM cash to be loaded in each ATM machine. So across the country, we have ATM machines. So for every machine, how much money to be loaded and what frequency that is predicted, and the money is loaded in that machine, so that there is no money, there is no case where the customer will face that the ATM doesn't have a machine, doesn't have enough cash. That business problem is solved. And that is not a simple problem, right? Because the cash requirement will change from machine to machine. Any ATM center you go, there will be 2 or 3 ATM machines. And the cash requirement will be different from different machine. The first machine, which is towards the door may need more cash because more people will be using that. The extreme inside the machine, the cash requirement may be less. And the cash requirement for an ATM machine will change on a holiday or on a weekday, or on a machine in a commercial center. The requirement will be different from an ATM machine in your campus. And on a seasonal, also it will change. So it's a pretty complex problem which we solve using neural networks. So that's how you solve a business problem. Another area which I will talk about, how data science can take your business, how you can take the data science to exponentially grow your business beyond the boundaries of the predefined business paradigm. So how you can do that. So this is a typical case where in the ASEAN countries, there are many countries where there are no credit rating agencies available. Right, in India, you know that the credit rating agency, which is CIBIL, right? The CIBIL score. So if you have a CIBIL score, you can get a home loan. If you have a CIBIL score, good CIBIL score, you can get credit card. Or suppose if you don't have your CIBIL score is very bad. I hope all of you are familiar with the CIBIL score, right? That's a credit scoring agency in India, right? So if you don't repay your credit card bill continuously for some month, your credit score will go down. Then you go to the next bank for a credit card, they will reject it. You go for a home loan, they will reject it. You go for a car loan, they will reject it, because everyone is checking your credit score before issuing that. So it is shared across the banks, right? So that's how the banking sector operates. So what happens is, in these particular countries, 2-3 countries where we operate, there is no credit score agency. So what happens is, young people, especially the students or the youth who doesn't have a credit score, or the people who are in the villages who doesn't have that banking credit score, they are not able to take loans. They are not able to do banking operation. They are not able to buy the banking products. So what we have done is we came up with a mobile app, which will capture your social media data, your online purchase behavior, and on your phone data, all that data, and generate a credit score for you. And using that, you can get an instant micro loan. So with that single solution, we have, so about 35% of the overall population in the country are outside this banking operation because of this issue. So only the 65% of the population were operating bank customers for any bank, right? So that was the situation in these countries. So 35% of the total population were out of about 35 to 40% of the population is out of the banking coverage. So with this single solution, with this simple mobile app, simple machine learning, NLP solution, which is alternate credit underwriting solution, which we developed, we are able to approve the loan within a minute's time. So the remaining 65%, 35% of the customers are able to get into the banking business. So that's how you exponentially grow your business. So this simple solution or a single solution is helping the bank to grow exponentially. That's the power of technology. Okay. So this is where you reinvent the way banks are operating. Every other bank is operating with a credit score, depending on the credit rating agency, and everyone was fighting for the 65% of the population as the market, and the remaining 35% of the market was untouched by all these banks. And with this data science solution, we have ventured into the remaining 35% and growing exponentially. That's the power of technology. And then there is another area where the data science solutions are widely we use is the money laundering, right? So in the banks, there are a lot of money laundering happens, and then there we have to so there are legal or statutory regulatory requirements from the Reserve Bank of India or from the governments to detect and stop the money laundering. So we extensively use deep learning solutions for identifying the money laundering. Okay, so it's a very complex area. So I'm quickly running through that. Then there is another video analytics solution which we built, which which is again helping in the money laundering. So many banks have all these banks have a system of watch list or a blacklisting the customers. So somebody who has doing a money laundering, or somebody who is has a connection with the money launderer through any transaction, you will be blacklisted, right? So that is a common thing in the banking business. So what we have done is we have video analytics solutions which will detect such people when the moment they come to a branch and notify the branch manager or the responsible executive there. Video analytics solution, CCTV images are continuously streamed and then detecting such problematic customers in detecting for the watch list or for the fraud detection or for money laundering detection. Okay, so this is also huge business impact it has. And then another area, so I was talking about the different business functions of a business, right? Like campaign management, marketing, or the core business. And another area is the HR, the human resource, staffing, recruitment. So we have solutions which helps in the entire AI solutions for the entire recruitment life cycle, right from sourcing the CV, detecting the fraud CVs from that, then identifying the right CVs for the right job description, shortlisting for the interview, and the written test, based on the skill of the candidate which is given in the profile, the questions are tailored for that customer, for that candidate. Again, all these AI solutions are built for that. So if there are 100 students or 100 candidates, experienced candidates coming for a written test, the questions will be, all 100 will get a different question based on his skill level. And then in the interview, the continuous video analytics is done to detect how the candidate is responding to the question, his expressions, everything is analyzed and give the recommendation for selecting the candidate. So all these artificial intelligence, using artificial intelligence, the problems are solved. So the entire recruitment, the staffing solutions are, the staffing process is reinvented using artificial intelligence. Then there is performance management, right? Every company you have the year-long performance management. In most of the companies, it's annual appraisal. Those who are working will know that, right? So some companies have Jan to December annual appraisal cycle. Some have April to March annual appraisal cycle, but it's more or less it is annual. And many companies have a mid-year appraisal also. But in any case, these are all, there is a lot of bias happening. There is a lot of dependency there. But we have built a performance management solution, which will consider, which takes care of your evaluation, performance evaluation throughout the year. In many companies, especially in the IT industry, people work on small projects. Somebody will work for 2 months with this manager for a project. And after that, he will move to another department who will work with another 3 months under another manager. So like that, in the whole year, he may be working on 4 to 5 projects, reporting to 4 to 5 different managers. So the annual appraisal will be a problem. So the last manager who will do the performance evaluation, he has very limited visibility from the previous managers. It may be some 2-3 lines of feedback which he will give, but that doesn't really reflect the performance of that candidate. That's a big problem in the HR function. So what we have done is built this AI solution, which will take care of your year-long annual appraisal, annual performance evaluation. All your contributions are captured and evaluated. And at the end of the year, you have that rating which is coming up. That's how you transform the HR function, the performance management function in the HR. Okay. And then there is decision management and cost optimization. So especially when the market is going down, there is when there is a recession in the market, especially in the Western market, there is a lot of pressure for every company to cut down on the cost. So that's a decision every level in the company, right from the board of directors to the bottom level manager. Everybody has to take that decision. So how will you cut the cost of operation in your department? So for example, if the company is going through a recession and the board of directors, they meet and they decide that, okay, we are going to cut 10% cost. And then they will give the direction to the CEO, and then the CEO will send out circular, or he will call his team of people. And then how will you take a decision? 10% means, are you going to cut the cost of 10% in everything, every department, every function? No, that's not how it works, right? So the CEO will call all the department heads, and he may, how is he going to do that? Maybe he will call all the department heads and he will discuss with them and take their input. And based on his experience, based on the data, which information which his report is providing, he will take a decision based on his gut feeling, his intuition. It can go wrong, it can go right, it can go wrong 10%, 20%, 30%, the decision, right? That's how all the traditional companies work. But what we have done is, we have the entire data of the company there, all the business data there, and then we identify what is that, which are the business operations where we can do the cost optimization, cost reduction. We exactly identify. So the business strategy, the decision is taken based on which is coming out based on a recommendation coming out from a data science solution, from a machine learning model. Instead of taking a random decision, we take that. So you have 10 products in the market. Instead of cutting down all the 10 products by 5% or 10%, the predictive models will give you the recommendation. Okay, this particular product is not doing in this geography, in this country. So you cut down there by 50%. Or this particular product is not doing well with this age group, or in this is so and so state. So you cut down on your campaigns, your digital, your marketing expenses. So the decisions or the business strategy is taken from as an output coming out from a machine learning model instead of taking a random decision, instead of taking based on your perception. So many people, marketing heads or many department heads cut down the cost based on his perception, based on the input feedback which his team members are giving. It may be right or wrong. We don't know. And he will take a decision based on his experience. There is limitation. Instead of that, all the decisions are taken which are supported by data, which are supported, every strategy is taken which are supported by the data. So that's how your business operation optimization, cost optimization does. This is how you manage your decision management with data science. Okay. And there another area in the maintenance. So we talked about campaign, marketing, operations, HR, business optimization, cost optimization, everything we discussed. Now we will talk about maintenance. Right. So this is applicable in many of the traditional, conventional, heavy industries. So for example, an oil and gas refinery, or a mining industry, or an automobile shop floor like the Suzuki or Toyota manufacturing. Right. So there are many heavy equipments which are very critical. So what happens is, and if you go to the shop floors in such in Chennai, I'm sure that all of you are familiar, right? Chennai, Coimbatore, there are a lot of automobile companies are there. So you go to their shop floor, there are hundreds of machines, one after the another, in the assembly line or in the shop floor. And if one of those critical machine breaks down, the entire assembly line will be stopped. So there is huge production loss there. So what we do is take all this data from that critical machines and come up with predictive models for every component. When this particular component is likely to break down, when this particular component need a replacement, when this particular crankshaft need a replacement, or when it need a maintenance. All these are predicted. So the breakdown is avoided there. So this will help in reducing the breakdown, reducing the production loss, reducing the. Please go on mute, those who are speaking. So this will help in the. Udaya Kumar, please go on mute. Udaya Kumar, please go on mute. Okay, so this is how the entire prediction model is helping in your predictive model. So this is another area of managing your maintenance using predictive models. So one last one is on the energy optimization. So this is another solution which for the operation optimization, predictive energy optimization for blast furnace. So in the steel manufacturing, from the iron ore to the hot briquette iron, right? When in a blast furnace or in a basic oxygen furnace, there is heavy usage of energy in running this blast furnace. So there are predictive models, data science models which are built to predict how much should be the energy and optimize the energy consumption and energy usage. So this is how you save millions of dollars in a year. Your operational optimization. Someone please mute Udaya. Okay, so let me stop here since we are running out of time. So we spoke about. Okay, so we spoke about the different business areas. We spoke about how the data science, artificial intelligence as a technology, you can take it and transform your business end to end, right? And then we spoke about how this particular technology can be used in the different business functions in an enterprise, like marketing, finance, operations, maintenance, HR, right? All these functions we can take and then transform it and reinvent it. And admin, please, could you please mute Udaya Kumar? Okay, so Uday Umar, if you are not interested, please leave. Okay, so this is how we are transforming the entire business operation using data science. How you are reinventing a business using artificial intelligence. Okay, so I'm sure that you will appreciate this when you finish your data science course and you go to the join a company, you go to the market, you are in the industry. Then this will help you in using what you learned and applying it in that industry. And this is how it is going to help you. So wish you all the best for your future career. And there's a link which I shared with the professors, so they will share it with you. So please write your feedback about this session on that link under the comment section. So please write your feedback about this session. It will be really great. So I am stopping here for any question answer. So you can write your questions in the chat box, and one of the coordinators, you can read out the question, and then we can discuss one by one. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah, Steve Richards.
Sir, yes, I was just going to ask the guys to drop down the questions. I think someone has dropped down the questions.
Yeah, so one of you can read question one by one, because I'm not
yes,
looking at the chat box.
I'll read it, sir. So the question from Mohit Sharma is, how data science is helpful in space missions?
Yeah, so space mission, it's it's a very complex thing. And so if you look at the trajectory of rocket launching, so tomorrow I'm sure that all of you know that tomorrow we are launching these satellites. So the trajectory of the rocket launching, it's very really complex. Okay, so you will learn this quadratic equation, right? So a square plus b square, right? Where you have two variables, right? A plus b whole square, right? You have two variables, right? A square plus 2ab plus b square. Where will you apply this equation? So one of the areas, similar equations are used in solving the trajectory of the rocket launching, where there are 16. So if you ask someone in ISRO, they will tell you there are 16 variables involved in defining the trajectory of the rocket launching. Okay, now what they do is they write their own complex programs to design that. Say, for example, the wind, the acceleration due to gravity, your geographical location, the pressure, temperature, like that. There are 16 variables which will define the trajectory of the thing, right? So that was the old way of doing rocket launching or the space. Now with enormous data available, you can build your own models for solving such things. Okay, so this is a very complex area where they apply this data science there. Okay, next question. So basically, before you apply anywhere, the key thing is that you need to understand the whole business, how it works. So in terms of astronomical or the space program, the complexity is very, it's not an easy thing, right? The complexity is high. And then you need to understand how this trajectory is designed, how the satellite is designed, how the satellite orbit is designed. So each of that, there are different designs are there. So you can predict the motion movement of the objects, the celestial objects, all those are there. So once you have all that data, and once you understand the business problem, the domain there, you can build data science model to solve that. Okay, so the applying your model, what you learned is the last part. But before that, collecting the right data, then storing it in your data lake, and then understanding the business problem, analyzing it, and then building the model. So that it's a big journey of doing it. Yeah, next question. Steve, you are on mute.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, Divyanshu is asking how to find a problem worth solving.
There are, see, how to find a problem worth solving. Okay. Fortunately or unfortunately, humanity has enough problems and world has enough problems. Okay. You take, go to any field, there are enough problems, right? You go to the agriculture, farming, there are enough problems, right? Just the last week, there are problems in the North India. Because of that, the tomato farmers are facing, right? The tomato farming, they are lost, and now the price is hiking. Can you predict their weather? Can you predict which crop to be doing which soil? There are AI solutions for that. There is a startup which I'm mentoring. What they do is they are based in UP and Chhattisgarh. They collect the data, satellite data, and then they collect the soil data and then predict which soil based on the soil chemistry. They will predict which crop is good for that, and then what pesticide to be used, what kind of fertilizer to be used. All those are predicted. These are all the farmers are facing problem. Can you identify and solve it? That's a challenge. Okay, so problems are plenty. You go to any city, the traffic is a problem. Can you predict which which road which will have traffic peak time, and can you redirect the traffic using AI solutions? The police have enough problems. Can you predict which when a thief or what kind of crime will happen, or if once a crime is happen, who is likely to be the can you capture that, help in capturing the thief, criminal? So there are plenty of problems around. So the game is, can you identify that problem and put it in a boundary, the scope out that problem, and can you take the right technology which you learned, and can you solve it? That's a challenge. Okay, so there are a number of problems. You name a domain, I can tell you 100 problems in that. And all these startups are now starting. They are all starting because of there are some problems existing. They are all trying to solve one or two problems. Right. So all this, if I give an example, no, I buy this daily grocery from this Fresh to Home. It's an online app, right? So that's a problem. I have to go to the vegetable shop, or I have to go to the grocery shop every week and then buy things. And since I go to office every day, I don't get time. That's a genuine problem for a customer, for a common man, right? And I don't have time in the morning to go to the shop and buy the milk. That's a genuine problem. Now these people, I can just subscribe for milk, in a 2-liter milk, and every day morning before 5 o'clock in the morning, milk is delivered in front of my house door. Problem is solved. Tomorrow, whatever vegetable I want, I can book it before 11 o'clock in the night. I get it morning 5:30 in the morning. Problem is solved. So these are, and he's, this is not a small company. Fresh to Home is a big one. There is a big basket in Bangalore. Fresh to Home in Bangalore. They're all in, their turnover is billions. Big company. Okay, problem is solved, small. But when you, and the other day, my friend who is the CEO of ID Fresh, so he was talking about launching idli, batter in Chennai. Last week he launched it. In Bangalore, it's a hit. And his turnover is more than billion. What he's selling is batter, idli batter, and you get it, and or everything is triggered by a solution. He can predict which customer, which location, which road, how many customers are likely to buy, and his complete supply chain is using AI solutions to reach the customer at the right time. These are all problems. Okay. So luckily for you, the problems are hundreds and thousands of problems in the world. So can you identify such solvable problems and solve it using the technology what you're learning? That is the art of art of data scientist, which you need to develop. I hope I'm answering your question. Okay.
The next question is from Harshal. How AI can help In planning, I run a small blockchain analytics company. Whenever we receive any order from customer, or most of the time gets consumed in planning and research than building the actual product. How to reduce this time with AI? Because there is no past data available for building new products.
Yeah, so there are two things. One is if you don't have data, you can't do anything. Okay, so that's very simple. So if you don't have water, you cannot learn swimming, right? You cannot learn swimming through postal course, or you cannot learn swimming in the air, right? You need water. That's very simple. But how do you get water to swim? So you're not going to swim in the Marina Beach or in the Arabian Sea on day one, right? You will learn swimming in a swimming pool. So that means you need a small set of data, learn there. That's how you train your model, right? And then you go and apply in your Arabian Sea. So in your situation, you need to see if the actual data is not there, you need to see how you can simulate the data and build the model. And over a period of time, you refine your model. So unless I know what exactly is the business problem you are doing, I may not be able to answer that. But that's how, in general, people address that. Okay, if the data is not there on day one, if the data is not there, you need to simulate data, create come up with a hypothesis, build a model, then test it. Then over a period of time, you improve your model. You run it for 1 month, 2 months, you have 2 months of data, then you can refine your model. That's how typically every business is doing. So since I don't have much details about the business, your business, I may not be able to give a specific answer. Any other question?
Yes, sir. So we have another question from Akash Jha.
Okay.
How can freshers without any experience understand the business? How can we approach to address this gap in our knowledge?
Yeah, so this is a chicken egg situation. Okay. And understanding the business doesn't come overnight. Okay. So there are no simple solution. So it is like someone asking me, how can I learn the driving straight from a college, right? You cannot. So you start driving in your residential area, you learn the trick there, gradually you go to the main road, start driving little more speed, then you go to the highways, and then you go for a driving race. You're not going to go for a driving race on day one, right? Same way, if you are in the college, you are not going to learn the business. So there are multiple ways you can, there are study materials available to start with, and then you join a company, you start working there, say in a manufacturing company, you work for 1 year, 2 years, then you need to develop there. Okay. So you have the hands-on experience, you get it. Parallelly, there is internet is there. You can, there are plenty of materials available. So it's a combination of both. You cannot, it's not just theoretical learning also will not be enough. So it's a hands-on learning plus theoretical learning. And then you develop it over a period of time. And then there is kind of intuition also. You need to have that intuitive spirit of looking at you don't need to learn the whole thing about farming to come up with a solution for a farmer, right? You don't need to. You don't need to be a police officer to develop a mobile app or an AI solution, machine learning model for the crime detection. You don't need. Right? Still, you need to have a little bit of intuition. You need to know what to address, which to address, right? Say the farmer solution, which I told you, right? The farmer, can you predict the farm crop, or can you predict which crop is suitable for this soil? You don't need to be a farmer for that. You don't need to even see the farming there. If you know that problem, you know what all you need more detail, you can go to that and then come up with solutions there. Same is with the crime detection. You don't need to go to a police station to develop a crime detection solution, right? So there is a whole lot of common sense also applied. So you need to apply your common sense, your intuition, and then little bit of domain knowledge, and then that's how you come up with your domain expertise and develop solution. And then over a period of time, you improve that. Then you can speak to, once you develop that, then you can speak to the people who are practicing it. You can speak to the police officers, and then they will tell you, this is, you missing this, you need to add little more features there. So you can gradually develop that. So the answer is domain expertise, industry knowledge doesn't come overnight. It will take some time, but you need to put your own conscious effort to do that. Okay.
The next question we have is from Malia. She asks, my question is with respect to the credit card. Why is it so difficult to discontinue or cancel a credit card? It is difficult to locate them for this purpose. How AI will make this issue a simpler one?
You are talking from a banking point of view or from a customer?
I don't know what, I don't know it, but I think what he's trying to ask is, why is it hard to close a credit card? And will AI make this issue any better?
What is hard to?
Why is it hard to close a credit card or discontinue a credit card? So,
okay, I don't think closing a credit card is difficult. I'm not sure. Okay, from a customer point of view, because you can just block the card or you can just close it, right? Provided you close all your arrears. Okay, but from a customer, from a banking point of view, there are, we have developed many machine learning solutions which will predict who will likely to close the card, who is likely to not default the payment. All that we have done that.
The next question is from Arya. To solve late loan problem and span problem, you said you keep data of what a person does in a day-to-day life and recommend what should they do, what should they buy, etc. So don't you think this is a violation of privacy?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So you capture the mobile data, mobile location. Definitely, it's a violation of privacy. So there are privacy, security, data privacy, data security rules available already in every country. So you can't just capture the data from every customer. So we take permission. So the mobile app itself will pop up permission, and then only if you click it, then you get the your data will be captured. Okay, so it is as good as you are using. So, for example, you use your Uber or Ola, right? If your location is disabled on your phone, you cannot do that, right? You cannot locate the location, right? So, for using that, you enable the services. Same way, if you want to avail the service of my bank, you have to enable the so and so data. So, for example, if I give you another example, you see, now we are using the Zoom, right? Or whatever we are discussing, whatever you are talking, everything is captured in the Zoom server. Isn't it a privacy issue? We are not really realizing that, right? When you are speaking to your friend, your boyfriend or girlfriend, all your conversations are going through either Airtel or Jio or Vodafone servers, right? Everything is captured going through that. Isn't it a privacy violation? You never realize that, right? But you are trusting them. You are putting all your money in the State Bank of India or in Citibank. Isn't it a privacy issue? You are trusting the bank, right? All your hard-earned money is there. What is the guarantee that you will get the money back? It is so. All this trust happens. It's all legally bound by the laws of the land. So you are trusting the bank. You are putting all your lakhs of rupees in the bank because you know that the government of India and the Reserve Bank of India is giving the guarantee, and they are regulating the banks. So they cannot just close the bank and run away, right? Whether you knowingly or unknowingly, that is what happens. So same way, there are privacy, data security laws applied in every country. In India also we have that. So there are some more discussion happening about, some more laws are coming up soon. So that is how it works. So if you want to avail the service, you provide the data. If you don't provide me the data, you will not get the service. Just like you look at the Google map, and navigate, right? If your location is disabled, you cannot navigate. So Google is not forcing you to enable your location services. The thing is that if you want to avail it, you enable it. If you don't trust Google, then you disable it. Same way with my bank also. If you want to avail my service, you enable it. And then I am legally bound by the Reserve Bank of India that I will not share the data, your data to anybody. I will not misuse your data. All those are the laws which are formulated by the government or by the regulatory bodies. So that's how it works. Okay.
Sir, we have one last question.
Yeah, sure.
From Gopalakrishnan. He says, since a lot of data are extracted from customers and passed to machine learning models for making an informed decision, what are the measures taken to protect the privacy of those data? Is AI being used in the cyber security part of the data extracted?
Yeah. So that's what which I answered already. Okay. By the way, I pasted one link in a chat box. So all of you, please click on that and write your feedback about this session. Okay. So there is a link which I given in the chat box. Okay. So all of you, while I'm answering this question, please click on that and in the chat window. Okay. So please click that link and write the feedback about this session. Okay, so the data privacy and security, there are multiple things, right? One is in our bank, the bank is very secure from a data privacy point of view. So healthcare and banking are two areas where the data privacy, data security is very stringent. So there are laws in the internal and as well as external where the data privacy is taken care. So for example, in wherever we are operating, the data, there is a legal requirement that the data cannot be outsourced to another country. So even when we are working from Bangalore, we cannot download any data from the respective country to our server. So we connect remotely to their data lake, which is in the data center in that particular country, and we remotely connect. And then we work it through the Citrix server. So we cannot download any data. And then all the personally identifiable PII data, which we call the name, your email ID, your phone number, your address, all that confidential data is encrypted in the database itself. Okay, and then there is audit happens. So every quarterly we do the internal audit, and every half yearly the central bank, like the Reserve Bank of India, they will come and audit. So all these measures are there to protect the data privacy, data security cases. And if we violate anything, and if it is captured in the audit, then there will be heavy fine penalties, and even blacklisting the bank also will happen. So that's how it works. So it's all supported by the legal framework in that country. That's how it works. How to start a startup alone or something else? Yeah, so that's a good question, right? So how to it's like how will you do a surgery? Will it be done by one doctor, or it will be done by 5 doctors? So the answer is like that, right? So if it is a small surgery, usually you go to the nearby clinic and do a surgery by a local physician, right? It will be done by a doctor, local, small procedure. But if you have to do an open heart surgery, you go to a big multi-specialty hospital, and it will be done by some 4 or 5 doctors together. Like that, startup, there is no rule for that, right? So there are startups which started by one person. There are startups which are done by multiple people. So there are multiple factors involved. So one is what kind of business problem you are trying to solve. Second is how much money is required, how much technological manpower is required. So you need the people for all that. So investors, so if you have the financial capability to run the startup on your own, you do it on your own. Or if you have multiple people, say, for example, you need you need a technology architect, right? Or somebody who is, your startup is going to be a technology, very complex solution. You need an expert in that area. And then you need somebody who can run the business. Then you need somebody who can provide all the initial seed funding. So in such case, 3 people will come together and say that, okay, let's come together and we will start a startup, right? So there is no simple rule for that. It's all for you have a headache, you take a paracetamol. But if you have a heart or a heart surgery required, you go to the hospital, right? So the same way, solution is for the problem. Okay, so there is no simple rule. The startup should be one person or 10 people, multiple people. No, nothing. It can be anyway. It all depends on what you are going to do, how you are going to do, whether you how much capability you have. If you don't have, you add more people there. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so the question is whether should I start assemble the people and do the startup? No, the too many people spoil the food, right? Too many cooks spoil the food. That is as simple as that. So don't tell to your batch and say that okay, let's come 1, 2, 3 and you put 10 people together and okay, we are going to start a startup. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Say if I give an example of Fresh to Home, which is a startup from Kerala. It is started by 2 people. So what I recently heard his name interview. So where he was saying that he is a business person. Okay, he doesn't know anything about technology. He doesn't know anything about computer. So he has money. He was a retailer working in the Dubai, and then he came to Kerala and he started this business. So he was saying that when I wanted to start this business, I wanted a technology person. So he joined with a computer technology architect. And now they are they started the startup. So this person takes care of all the financial things and all the operational supply chain and operational things of grocery and everything. The other person takes care of all the technological part, building the app, hosting the app, and then running the app and everything, the technology part. So they complement. So if you have more than one person in your startup team, you should be complementing each other. Everyone should have clear defined role. Okay. So one person say, okay, I will take care of the financial part. I will take care of the operational part. I will take care of the technology part. Then there may be somebody say, okay, I will take care of the legal part. Then you get a legal expert in your team. So that's how it is. So the team should be complementing and there should be clear defined roles and responsibilities for each person. And then everyone should share a common vision also. Okay, so everyone cannot have their own direction. Everyone should share one common vision and then one person should drive it and everyone should agree to that. Finally, there can be disagreement, there can be discussions, debates, fight, everything, but at the end of it, you need to take it together. So if I give an example of Infosys was founded by some 5-6 people. Everyone was technology people, so it was a technology company. So everyone got their own opinions, but finally it was Narayana Murthy who will take the final decision and everyone agree to that. So you need to have that kind of hierarchical stuff and a common vision. Otherwise, it will be just fight and too many people spoil the food. Okay. Any other question? Okay, so if there are no questions, those who missed the writing the feedback, please write the feedback. The link is given in the chat window. Okay. Any other question, Richard? Otherwise, we can end the session.
We can end the session.
Okay, thank you very much. So it was really great speaking to you and wish you all the best and do well. You are studying in the best institution in India. So utilize that and once you finish, go to the market, go to the industry and make a difference and use this technology, whatever you learned, go out and solve the problems around, and help the humanity, help the people for a better life. Okay, wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us today.